Have you ever gazed at the expanse of stars and been overcome by the thought of just how puny you really are? Ever tried to fathom how in the vast maze and chaos of this universe anyone could possibly see you, much less save you from the endless grind of premortem tedium you're stuck in day after day after day? Have you ever surveyed the depths of a canyon from its edge? Been tempted to dive into that chasm and shout on your way down, "God, if you're listening, don't let me hit the ground!" Or maybe you think it's too late, because you already made it to the bottom and now you wait, alone, staring up at space and crying out for help to nothing but those cold, deaf stars. In either place, you see how far it is to where you want to be, know that you are tied by things your eyes can't even perceive, but still wish like a fool that you could fly. Rise high above the storm clouds and leave the mud behind. Fly away, fly anywhere, as long as it's far enough to escape the fear, the heartache, the loneliness. Whatever makes you hurt weighs you down and pulls you closer and closer to the dirt. Have you ever found yourself there? Stranded, helpless, convinced that you're abandoned and that no one cares, that you better get it together and find a way to save yourself from your nightmare? Try harder. Just do it. Life's unfair, get over it. You gotta pick yourself up by your bootstraps. And most deceiving of all, you can do anything if you believe in yourself. The world screams at you to look inside yourself to find the power to overcome all your deficiencies so you can lift yourself from whatever hellish cavity has you ensnared. But what they are too scared to admit is that we humans are pitiful in the extreme. It may be definite that we are created in God's image, but investing our hope in an overdose of self-esteem is like cutting off your arms and legs and still thinking you could swim upstream. If the strongest man in history lost all his might to a measly pair of shears, do you really think that you can persevere your way out of your personal vale of tears? Who do you think you are, believing you will ever be strong enough to stand, much less fly on your own? Why do you try so hard to achieve perfection all alone? Why pretend that your best efforts are not as vain as shaking your fist at a cyclone? I'll tell you why. It's because you buy into the lie that you are the center of the whole universe. Your pride keeps you settled on a throne you refuse to acknowledge is made of dust, just like you. So frail that the gentlest puff of wind could bust the whole thing into microscopic crumbs and leave you back where you had begun, a pathetic collection of atoms stuck staring up at the apathetic constellations. But that does not have to be the punctuation at the end of the sentence. Not if you know the one responsible for the formation of those stars. Not if you know the God who called forth each by its name and put it in its rightful place. The God who humbled himself to gain your salvation, who set aside his own glory and fame to pick up your guilt and your shame, carry them to the cross, and then bury them forever where even you can't find them again. The God whose love can bridle the savage ego in your brain and completely erase your stains of all kinds, including pride. It's no surprise that mankind is limited. It is our plight to wear down, to lose steam and fall, defeated to our knees. But in those times when we are most inadequate, God invites us to quit struggling and let him take care of it. After all, he is the great I Am who gathers the raging oceans into jars and who on the fourth day of creation lit the very sun on fire. When you are so tired you can't lift a single finger from the quagmire life has you trapped in, Almighty God offers you the energy infusion you require, one that produces exponentially more power than nuclear fusion, and it comes in the form of a blood transfusion from his one and only Son. When you have experienced that explosion of love in your veins, the transformation your life undergoes will be the most breathtaking change. From hopelessness and death to priceless faith and fearlessness, your mess of a life will be completely and magnificently rearranged when your wretchedness is exchanged for the righteousness of Christ that remains forever unchanged. So when you waver at the edge of that cliff, or stagger in the winds of a hurricane, you cannot look inside yourself but must deny your pride and lift your eyes to the hills, to the Lord, to receive his perfect brand new strength. You need only to be still, and God will go to war for you and win. Wait on him and he will restore your hope. He will give you the wings of an eagle to soar high above life's downpour. Mount up above where the prowling lion roars to where you will be faint and weary no more.